What is up, guys? You got NotTheWorst here, bringing another Black Desert online video on my new channel, as my old one was hacked and we are still waiting to see about getting that account recovered. However, the updates and videos must go on. So here we are looking at the global lab updates that were done on April 29th. Not a ton of huge changes, but what I thought was important, wanted to share with everybody if you don't check this regularly, was this developer note about PvP balance for characters. As you know, they've been adjusting the awakening damage to kind of match what Succession's been doing. We saw a lot of global lab updates last week for awakening damage in general and some other changes just outside of damage, but they didn't touch any PvP. Noted that they were going to be working on that as well. So let me read you this developer's note here. Again, it's Google's Translate, using this as it's originally in Korean. My Korean is not quite up to snuff, so the translate's going to be crushing it for us, so expect a little bit of wonkiness, but you can get the gist of what they're saying. So let's take a look at this, and then we'll see what other updates were going on this week with the global lab as well. Character balance update's been applied to the official server in Korea today, so the ones we saw last week in the global lab are now on there. PvP damage adjustments have been made with the goal of minimizing the gap between Succession and Awakening and efficiency between each character. Even though we've been preparing intensely, we'll continue to monitor the test variables that we didn't expect. So basically, we took the test server global lab, slapped it onto the Korean servers, and going to continue testing it and see how it applies from there. Currently focusing on PvP aspects, since there are indications that Succession is superior to Awakening in many places, we're preparing to level the damage of Awakening Succession in a direction of raising the part that's considered too high and pulling up the lower part. Of course, depending on the presence or absence of catching skills, I'm assuming CC here, hitting assistant, maybe accuracy skills, each player's character's personality and variables, such as the difficulty of entering and exiting a battle, engaging, disengaging, are considered to maximize the amount of skill damage. So they're talking about things like range skills, what type of engages and that sort of stuff, and balancing not just raw damage output per character and what their other functionalities are. In addition, we're preparing to renew the skill window. Currently, we're focusing on improving the uncomfortable areas that adventurers feel are hindering them. In the renewed skilled window, you can directly check the action of the skill as a character action, not a recorded video, and a preset function, etc. to save my skill settings will be added. In addition, we're considering the reorganization to improve the readability by arranging the tooltips of the technical description neatly. Adventurers who enjoy Black Desert have been feeling more eagerly in recent years how much love they have for their characters. We're going to continue to communicate with adventurers and pursue more fun in the games. In addition, we're discussing ways to communicate deeper, including inviting the best adventurers of each character to talk, listen, and open up about their opinions to us, and conduct a FGT on improvement directions. Not sure what that means, but I assume some sort of discussion. We look forward to your continued support and feedback. I would assume they mean other than reprimand, although if they're predicting accurately, it's probably going to be reprimand. Aside from that, well, first let's talk about that a bit. So basically just a note letting you know that they are continuing to develop these things. We're going to see some PvP changes to help balance out Succession and Awakening, and not just necessarily each class's individual Succession versus Awakening, but overall character balance from there. Again, we've seen this since the creation of Black Desert Online. This has been something that is always going to be a continual issue from there, but once again, they are noting that they're working on it, and they have some changes planned that they'll test, and apparently the KR servers are going to be what actually tests and gives the feedback. It's nice to see that they're going to be contacting players directly. Some, I don't know what their definition for the best of the players is. I'm assuming they mean on the KR servers where they have at least these PvE updates already live, but we'll see how that plays out. But at least it's still feedback based and not just necessarily what their small amounts of internal testing are producing. We did get some Odalita main quest part 2 added to it. The Caphras journal is also in there as well. Not too much to dive into this, since on our servers we don't even have Odalita part 1 yet, so let's not necessarily need to dive into that. Interesting note for some item changes, and I actually hadn't thought about this, but I like the idea of what's happened here. Essentially, they've changed the name of the armor and how it's displayed. What they're saying here, the normal copper V is on should be on Dead God, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, and 4 items before, giving it that pen V. So it now will have the copper V icon at all stages for it, and then there'll be other modifiers added to it to let you know what stage it actually is. And the reasoning for it is that Dead God armor exceeds what we know as our pen Black Star or pen Dim Tree that you worked really hard to get, or really hard to then purchase, or whatever the case may be from there. And they wanted Dead God to still have that V signifier on it, which I think makes a lot of sense to it. It'll just be each stage of Dead God armor will have some sort of discrimination to reinforce that they are different as they're translated technology is noted there. A little bit of change to eating poisonous mushrooms now. Fear resistance was changed to knockdown bound plus 5%, kind of whatever. We got some new guild missions that were added. We saw some life skill ones added a little while ago. We've got a few more coming in, collecting wild grasses, and then we also have some updates to Rhoneros guild mission in there, the new Thorn Forest area in Odalita. We've also got Achman at Histria that were added, and then I believe this one's Star's End. It's translating as Fallen Messengers of the Starburst. Sounds very Star's End to me, which so I assume that is what that is, but it's cool to see some new guild missions finally added along with some of the new areas that we've got it. Then you can see some group guild missions for that summoning Paturan boss, which already exists, but it looks like maybe a newer version of it. Paddock's Island has been updated yet again. It's a 270 hunting ground area, so we have some updates to the Cox Pirates that are going to be coming up. This I don't think we're going to see for quite a while on NAEU, but possibly I'm wrong. But however, we just got the monastery update, which was several months prior on the test server, so probably a little ways out from that one. Aside from the other things, a couple of knowledge updates here. Boarding for your ship is set up so that rapid firing your other gun after firing its basic after firing it in the basic shelling mode can now be done. Couple changes there. Again, nothing of like crazy note other than what we had already mentioned there. Of course, UI, they're always tweaking. So there you have it. Just wanted to get that note out there and then just touch on a couple of things that they had updates. What do you guys think about what these are coming up? What are changes you are interested in seeing for your class? Let me know in the comments down below. That is going to be it for this video. Be sure to like it if you did enjoy it. If I end up having to move over to this new channel permanently, it is going to be important, at least initially, to get those extra likes. So if you did enjoy it, please like it, even if you normally just don't bother one way or the other. It definitely does help out, get the channel moving if this ends up being my new home. So if not, also definitely be sure to subscribe to it. As you can see, we just are getting this channel going. Hopefully this isn't the permanent solution and just where we're going to upload for, I don't know, the next few weeks while I wait to hear back from Google to get my account back into my control. But until then, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.